Alrighty then. I am nervous, scared. Running this solo today, hoping for the best. I got everything organized though. Organized well enough. Guys in chat, you're all doing well. Wow, this is such a lonely thing to have one cam up. I thought after setting it up, it'd be okay and I'd feel better about this, but no, this is so lonely to do this by myself. Hey guys, welcome to episode 13 of the Cosmic Bulletin. Thank you, Cherise, for hitting that follow. Yeah, like I was saying, welcome to episode 13 of the Cosmic Bulletin. I am your host, MissDJM. Sadly, my co-host, Nymphadora, she's going to be out for a bit, and I guess in latest Nymphadora news, she is, she's actually taking the next step in, life's milestones and doing some big things for herself. So she had to take a personal day, which is perfectly fine. And I will run and I didn't really want to bypass like a whole week. I mean, she managed to go through and do a solo host and cover for me. You know what? I can do the same. There's no problem with that. Hope you guys enjoy today's episode. We're gonna have a lot of stuff to cover. I got some stuff for Tokyo Game Show, Nintendo Direct, and a lot of things that I think pertain to us as gamers, as streamers, or just personal interest. And that's what's gonna be it. So, I mean, what else more could you ask? But if you haven't noticed, there's also been a few changes to our Discord. If you're a member of GirlStreamers, we've been doing a whole lot there. I hope you guys have been enjoying it and the changes. I know there's some like little bit headaches and hiccups here and there, but Discord's a little bit weird like that. And we gotta roll the punches there. So, we're going to start off with Twitch news. Oh my goodness. Stuff going on. So, we always start off with the latest platforms. Yes, we are primarily located on Twitch, but we don't only talk about Twitch news. We do cover a whole lot of stuff. Sadly, a lot of the other platforms don't have nearly as much news and updates as much as Twitch does. So, recently, Twitch actually hired their first there we go. Their first head of diversity and inclusion, Katrina Jones, which was actually a really, really big thing that happened. It's because with as divided as our nation can be, things like this that interest us can be separated too, and lacks diversity, I guess you could say. And for the fact that Twitch took that initiative, which I think it shouldn't have been such a big news. Like, it's great news, but it kind of actually says a lot. The fact that it is big enough news for us to bring it to you guys. It should be something that's ingrained into your life. But here it is. But we're very proud of her, Katrina Jones. You can go and find the link in chat. I also have it listed up on, our Medium blog for all the information that we're going to be talking about. But Katrina Jones will be starting in her new role on October 1st. She has about 10 years experience in human resources and inclusion and diversity. And before being hired on by Twitch, she also held something that was pretty similar at Vimeo, and where she also created the company's very first ever diversity strategy and worked in changing that stigma and having fostering a more inclusive workplace over there at the Mayo. So I am looking forward to what she brings to the table for Twitch, and hopefully makes some changes and changes the mindset of a lot of people there. And also in Twitch news, I'm going to be saying TwitchCon, we're going to be attending. There's a lot of different things that that happen over there at TwitchCon. That, let me see if I can just bring this up. So one of the things that they're going to be introducing at TwitchCon is the Hackathon 2018, which isn't what you think of. I think the wording that they used, hackathon, was kind of weird because when I think of hack, I think of, you know, somebody breaking into, you know, breaking past my firewall, breaking into my computer, doing a whole lot of things. But what they meant over here for hackathon is that they're going to be having like a 24-hour I don't know if it's necessarily charity, but a 24-hour period during TwitchCon in which a lot of developers are going to be taking these ideas that are being presented by partners about, you know, really cool extensions that is going to be happening. Hi, Dad. And then these teams of hackers, I guess you could say, or I don't want to use hackers, developers are going to be like working around the clock 24 hours. It's funny because they say like sleeping during this 20-hour period is optional. I don't know how healthy that is to be promoting that Twitch, but they're going to be constructing and developing this extension that was given to them as an idea, and then the following day they're going to be praised and graded, and they're going to be scored, and it's just a big contest. And I think it's a really cool way for up and coming developers to start getting their you know, their work out there. Hey there, Hikari. Um, just the word hackathon is just weird. Just the word hacks. But what Twitch means by hack is that it's like kind of like having this way of quickly putting something together. Obviously 24 hours is not enough time to be put together a very solid extension, but it's enough time to put together a very good prototype of an extension. So they're hacking pieces together to create this. All right, it's okay. It's cool. Nymphadora, thank you for being in chat at least. I hope somebody host. You should host. That's a good thing. But I think that's really exciting that they're just bringing that forward, because Twitch is so much more than that. And when they started opening up the categories, game development, programming was a part of it. It might not be as big as much of the gaming side of it, but it's just an awesome way for young people jumping into the industry to get their hands on something to hopefully make the name of them. And just for even as a user, as a streamer, as somebody who just uses the extension, I think it's a very cool idea for just me to see in general, period. And that's kind of all I have. So, oh, dates. Let's see. Hackathon will be hosted on Saturday. So the TwitchCon Hackathon will begin Saturday morning with a list of hackable extension concepts being revealed. And hopefully we go and check it out. That's something I want to go and look at. I'm not a big programmer, but it still interests me. I still find it very, very, very cool to see. And that's kind of it that we have for Twitch news. And the only other thing that we have to talk about is YouTube gaming, which, I'll be honest, I have not really used the YouTube gaming side of things. I think I've probably watched maybe 2 live streams of somebody on YouTube. It's still that go-to for me for already pre-recorded content, not necessarily live content, but that absolutely makes sense because YouTube gaming is actually doing away with their app, their gaming app, which apparently was better than Twitch's app. At this point, I think almost anything is better than Twitch's mobile app because it has not been very good at all. And it didn't get the popularity that it probably should have, so they're actually doing away with it, and they're just going to integrate it into their main site. And it's kind of weird to have something that's a little bit separate, but they're going to take the ideas that they had for that and implement it into their main program, their main site and their main app altogether, which I think they should have done in the first place. But you know, I don't work for YouTube. And actually, I don't even know anybody who streams on YouTube. But if you do, I would love to know what your thoughts and, you know, going forward on it and your experiences there as well. Because I'm always interested in learning something new. But YouTube is closing it. I gotta go and check it out, to be honest. I was gonna do that before this, but I didn't have enough time. They haven't been around. Oh wow, it's been 3 years. Okay, so YouTube Gaming's actually been around for 3 years. I remember a couple partners, Twitch partners, who actually tried to dabble into it, but obviously they have some type of contract and they focus mainly being on Twitch. And I guess it was a smart decision because it didn't pick up as much. Doesn't mean that there isn't chance for it. It's still a viable platform, I think. It just needs more support. That's basically what it does. And that's kind of all I really have for stream news. Wow, that was so quick. Maybe it's because I'm nervous, but it's okay. It is perfectly okay. So, pop news. Pop news. This is usually Nymphadora's. Oh, makes sense if I actually brought up the graphic for it, right? There we go. There we go. That makes sense. So, in pop news, this is usually where we talk about all the stuff that, movies that's coming out, comic books, TV series, all those pop culture things. And the very first one that I have to bring to you is Avatar. So, if anybody watched that live action movie of Avatar and you're a fan of The Last Airbender, you might have been disappointed by it. At least I was. But you know what? Everything deserves a second chance, and Avatar: The Last Airbender will be adapted as a Netflix live action show. And if there is somebody, some company, some studio that can make something awesome, it would be Netflix. Hands down, no doubt, it would be them. I am very looking forward to it. Oh my God, I watched that show so much with my son. And that is the teaser photo actually that Netflix tweeted out. Oh no, the live action movie. You thought the live action movie was great? I don't know about that one. I didn't. It wasn't my cup of tea. Oh. Hilarious as it was so bad it was good? Or I'm going to assume that's what you meant. So bad it was good. I didn't even want to bring up the screenshots from that movie. So this is what you get. You get this one. But I'm looking forward to it. Netflix can do something really, really great with it. I have no doubt. I don't believe there has been an estimated time frame of when to expect this. But if I had to guess, 2019, maybe ending of 2019. Whatever it is, I'll be waiting for it because I probably watched through that series twice. Hey there, Closure. And speaking of other things that are going to be adapted to television, Peter Calloway is to adapt Alan Wake. How was that one? So I didn't get to play for the Alan Wake games itself, but I do know that everybody's been telling me about how great it is, and I probably should have joined in on it at some point. Cool story there, Closure. The live action TV series is developed by Peter Calloway. So Peter Calloway has been working on Cloak and Dagger and Legion, and he signed on as a showrunner and writer with the game creator Sam Lake, who will be executive producer, and it'll be created by Contradiction Films and Remedy Entertainment. So they're starting the new show around. Let's see, what is the premise of this? It's interesting. Harlan says that Alan Wake was basically a TV series that was put into a game. It was a masterpiece, a tour de France of garbage. I agree with that. But that is some exciting news for some big fans, I suppose. And I don't know if it's going to be, there's no hints yet if it's going to be continuing on from the story in the game, or it's going to be a readaptation from what we already know from the game. We don't know, but either way, I know that there's a lot of people that are looking forward to it. And every day that I tell somebody that I haven't played Alan Wake is another day that somebody tells me I'm missing out, and I should. There's a lot of games that are like that on my. So this one's interesting. This one is interesting, and I know a lot of people who are going out and actually reserving these, pre-ordering this stuff. Eric Killmonger Also, if you not read Black Panther, I'm sorry for the spoiler, I suppose. Or if you haven't read the comic books, maybe you should catch up. Eric Killmonger will get his own miniseries this December, which is only in a couple months. So, on December 5th, actually, he will get a 5 mini episode or mini series going into more of his backstory about what would compel a man to be on that verge constantly of revenge. So yeah, it's a part kill. It's literally just called Killmonger. Go ahead and check that out. But here, the telling of Killmonger stories. I'll read this for you. I wanted to explore. This is coming from Hill, who will be writing the story for him. I wanted to explore the choices and the failures that led a person to dedicate their life to revenge and how that happens. Because with Eric, I feel like it's really a tragedy. The story of a guy who was failed a lot by Wakanda in certain ways and by the people he met outside of Wakanda, by his own conscience in other ways. And I wanted to paint a portrait of that because to me, the iconic fight between Eric Killmonger and T'Challa is tragic. It's something that shouldn't happen. It's a conflict that's born from a tragic misunderstanding and a young man who was violently taken from his home. Killmonger did nothing wrong. Other than trying to get revenge, yeah. Debatable. Really sad. Still really sad. But go ahead and check out that link in chat for more information and to read the full article itself. And if that's not your thing, growing up, one of my favorite movies. Actually, I had a lot of movies growing up, but one of my favorite family movies, I guess you could say, was Space Jams, and and it doesn't even matter if you didn't like basketball as a kid. Michael Jordan was everything. Well, if you haven't noticed, they're going to be doing a sequel to this. It's not exactly a reboot, but a sequel, and this time it's with LeBron James, who I guess would be the equivalent to this generation's Michael Jordan. It'll definitely be very, very interesting. But they finally settled on Ryan Coogler as a producer. If you notice, this is why I followed it up. Ryan Coogler was actually the director for Black Panther, and now he'll be producing Space Jams 2. Here's a little teaser photo that they actually is out there on the internet. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super excited. I can't wait to actually watch this movie. I haven't even introduced the original Space Jam to my son. I'm probably like super like disappointing to a lot of people. But LeBron James on Coogler says he loved his vision for Black Panther. So for Ryan to be able to bring that to kids is amazing, which he's talking about Space Jams too. So and obviously we've been waiting for several years for this to like happen. I know that first it took forever to find out who would be able to fill the shoes that Michael Jordan had and which basketball player would be up there. And I don't know much about basketball. I'll never pretend to know much about sports, period. But even I know that you can't really get out of a conversation or past a conversation without LeBron James's name being mentioned some way, somehow. I don't know. Let's put it this way. I don't even know what team. You know, I'm not even going to say anything about that because everybody's going to be so upset. So upset. But either way, I just want it to come out. And in 7 months, something that also I'm cutting down the time to it coming out. Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel just released their latest, or actually their first official trailer for Captain Marvel. And I for a brief moment, I forgot that Captain Marvel isn't taking place in current timeline of, the whole Avengers series and everything like that. It's actually well before that. So I thought I was caught off a little bit when I saw her like fall into Blockbuster. I'm like, what is that? Like, is that the one Blockbuster that happens to be open? I'm like, oh wait, I forgot. Because there's pagers here. And then you have the whole cars, and it looks really cool. She looks really, really awesome as well too. And I think it's great that for this generation of girls, no matter what age, there's a lot more stronger female characters that are coming out to look forward to. I mean, it's not like they've not been there. It's just that you always had to dig into comic books, and not everybody read comic books. Now you have it on movies, on TV shows. It's a bit more out there so that girls can look forward and look towards them. And for me, if it was always in cartoons that I found the strongest female characters, granted that most of them were kind of like anti-heroes or just villains, like Catwoman. Who sets up to have a role model for Catwoman? Me, apparently. But anyways, this is awesome. It looks really good, and I can't wait to watch it. Sadly, it is still 7 months out. I'm betting on us getting to see Monica in Avengers 4 after. Did you see? I forgot. I did not actually have it in my news for today. Sadly, I let myself go there. But they did that little teaser photo for what Avenger Force is going to be called, and so many people are like just dissecting this one black and white photo about what the title of Avengers Force is going to be, and a lot of people says like it's going to be Eternity, Endgame. I forgot what else there was. There's a lot. I should have put it in here, but I ran out of time, and I stayed up to 4:30 this morning getting this all done. Ooh, and speaking of Catwoman, this is why I put it over here, because I knew I was going to segue into this somehow. Some way, I was. Appreciate the patience as I set these things up. I've been to speculation, but I'm on Captain. I thought it was Captain Marvel when I got excited for ice. Oh, Captain okay. Ice cream. I could use some ice cream right now. It's a bit hot. So, this one I have some very interesting thoughts and feelings about. First of all, I am more of a DC fan than I am a Marvel fan, to start off with. But to have so many different Jokers, I don't know how I feel about that at all. So you have Heath Ledger's Joker, which they're not going to continue on for that story. That's a done series there, which I thought was a great Joker. And then you have Jared Leto playing the Joker in Suicide Squad, which that took a little bit for me to get used to, but I loved it. I really liked it, and I don't mind. I wouldn't mind if there was a separate movie for Jared Leto's Joker. But now they're going to introduce another Joker, which is completely different from what DC has going on with Batman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman. It's like completely separate. This story has nothing to do with what is already out there for the DC storyline, which is weird. Very weird. And they casted Joaquin Phoenix for this. I'm not saying he would make a terrible Joker, but they did a little tester. They tweeted out, Warner Brothers did tweet out this video, and it's like this transformation of him, and they named it Arthur, into the Joker. I'm not gonna lie, I don't get Joker vibes from that face stuff that he has. I get like John Wayne Gacy as that look, and I don't know how many other people, probably lots of people, get that feeling to it, but I don't get Joker. It's just super weird for me to look at it. Are there there are many Jokers in Jokerverse, and yeah, there is. I'm not complaining about it. I just wish that it was some kind of fluid storyline as far as the time. Well, I don't even know the timeline, but just that I don't want to have it separate from that. I like how it's just all going to be inclusive. It's kind of like the Venom movie. That's completely different from what Marvel has going with Spider-Man. Those two aren't going to tie. They're not even going to bring up Spider-Man in that Venom movie, and I think that's weird. So that's how it looks. He does very much look like a juggalo, and I don't. Juggalo, John Wayne Gacy, it's just weird for me. I'm not sure how I like it, but they did announce the full cast of crew, um, which it's a good crew, and I don't think they're going half-half in it. So I don't know if you guys want me to go through all of those things. I don't I just as much as I like DC, I don't know if they can't because Sony doesn't have a license to use Spider-Man anymore, but they have all the rest of the Spider-Verse. Yes, this is true. But it's because of that. It's like I can't picture a Venom without Spider-Man. Like, what kind of world is that? I'm not even looking forward to the Venom um, movie. Period. I will not pay to go and watch it. That's like I'll watch it as long as I don't have to pay for it. That's gonna be. But you can find all the information and the full cast and crew for this, and let me know what you think. I don't like it. I will just go with that. And another thing that I'm not sure if I like or not, which is going to be touching on something that is also a part of my childhood. So they're going to be reviving the Twilight Zone. And Jordan Peele is going to be the host. I like Jordan Peele. I have nothing wrong with him. I don't know who I would have to be a host for him, but I don't know. I feel he's like definitely more of a comedian. I don't know if he'd be that very good serious type and very solemn and very stern looking and kind of creepy. But I am excited that they are reviving the Twilight Zone. I loved watching black and white TV as a kid. I grew up watching that with my grandparents. It's like probably one of the things that my grandparents, when I used to visit them, would let me watch with them because everything else is too scary. Not Twilight Zone apparently, but Gutter, that would be the app. That's not what they. I'm a mic, so it could be me. That could be. I know Nymphadora was using the mobile bat app and it wasn't very good for her. You'll see. But I am excited for this revival. There's actually a couple of things that are going to be revived or rebooted. But this is one of them. It'll be coming in 2019 on CBS. So we shall see. We shall see. My son likes to watch Twilight Zone with me, which is, I think, really, really cool. Well, everybody gets to have that. But you can find all the information here. Okay. Something not so serious. It's a continuation of probably one of the longest running series. I think it is. Somebody can correct me on that, but I think it is one of the longest running series. Maybe not consecutively, but it is. Doctor Who Series 11 final trailer was finally released as well too. And we all know, if you're not a Doctor Who fan, this is the very first female Doctor. Super exciting. It's like a lot of fun. I like her look. I don't care how much, like, you know, stupid hate that she's going to be getting. I'm going to be watching it. Super excited for it. Doctor Who Series 11. I don't even know if that's like season. Yeah. Can't be season 11, but Series 11. Very interesting way to be putting this. Also getting a sequel. Ooh. This little cutie over here. This little cutie. So The Nightmare Before Christmas will be getting a sequel comic. This one will be focused more on Zero, which is Jack Skellington's little ghost dog. So in this one, this is The Nightmare Before Christmas, Zero's journey, from the creative team of writer D.J. Milky and the artist Kei Ishiyama. Cover artist is Kiyoshi Arai. Focusing on Jack's beloved ghost dog, the original story, it will be released as a 20 single-issue comic books collected into 4 full-color graphic novels and a black and white collector's edition manga. And you can see an exclusive previews from the pages on the site provided at here. So, here's the official description of Zero's journey from Tokyo Pop. When Jack Skellington's faithful pet Zero gets lost, the ghost pup must get the help of the residents of Christmastown to find his way back. His Halloween plans on hold while Jack mounts his search. Will they be returned in time to save both holidays? Set in the wonderful world of The Nightmare Before Christmas as created by Tim Burton, explore the magical realms of Halloween Town and Christmas Town through the eyes of Zero as he tries to find his way home in an unfamiliar world in his brand new story written and created by Tokyo Pop. And the art is really, really super cutesy. It's not really as dark as the original film, but anything that is Nightmare Before Christmas related, I love. If you haven't noticed, I have been like I mentioned in the last episode of Cosmic Bulletin that I just kind of have that album on repeat. It is the Halloween season. So this will hit stores on October 2nd, which is right around the corner. And thank you, Carice. Thank you for the host. And welcome over here. This is the Cosmic Bulletin, and I am your host, one of two, MissDJM. Yes, it is definitely 100% the best movie ever. Ever. But go ahead and check out the link for more information and where you can find this in chat. Oh, okay. So this one I might have missed out on. This one I might have missed out on. Welcome, guys. Hello. You guys come out at the perfect time because we're going to talk about Batwang. This one I'm very, very shocked that people are shocked about, I guess. DC is coming out with a very mature storyline of their comic series of Batman. And so we get the NSFW, which I will provide that in link in chat. Click it at your own risk. It really isn't that bad. It really isn't. But if you want to check out some Batwang, check out that link there. They have Batman full frontal nude. And it's not like it's just like bam in your face. You know, they had those very creative lighting. Sure, you get an outline here and there, but who cares? It's a comic. But their mature line has people questioning it a lot and they don't know how to feel about it. And if so, I guess apparently it's a huge shock. There's a lot of things that comics do, and they do have those mature lines, and it doesn't, I don't think, it's not necessarily children friendly, but comic books isn't all made for children, and it's perfectly fine. There's nothing to be perverted, or it's nothing, I think, sexual about it. But this is a news story, Starfate. You can go and check it out. Look at those somewhere else. I mean, if you want to go about the mature content, you can also go to Marvel's Deadpool series. That is not children friendly, and is definitely not a children friendly movie at all whatsoever. Granted, I don't think it shows any Wang. Maybe, well, not the movie. But nobody's shocked about that. Come on. I do believe, I think Nevador is actually trying to actually pre-order that. So because it was such a huge controversy, if you happen to get your hand on Batman Damned #1, you might have a very special edition of it, because I believe any prints coming out from that point forward is actually going to be edited, so I will not include those. You can go and check out the photos in the imager that I provided below. Deadpool the movie shows Ryan's piece. I have it. There's still quite a few left. But it's there. If you happen to get your hands on it, you know what? Collector's item right there. Who knows? I'm going to read it. And I also, you know what? I got to go and check to see if the DC Universe subscription actually covers the series. I don't have room for physical copies, but I would like to still read it. And the last in our pop culture news. A lot of things here that are going to be touching on stuff. There's going to be a reboot of our favorite possessed doll, Chucky. Chucky. So a replay of Child's Play franchise. Man, and it has definitely a very modern feel to it. I already thought the doll was creepy as a kid. So growing up, I was scared of all of my dolls, but I loved being scared of all of my dolls. But just this teaser photo that they provided, I think is really, really good. They didn't give away too much information about what's happening. However, one thing that they did mention, let me see if it's in here. Apparently, I didn't have my own link up. They're not going to be going the route of the serial killer who possesses a doll. I don't know what route they're going to be going into there, but you know, when you read it out loud, it's like, hey, when you watch the movie, it almost makes sense. Like, oh, he escaped prison. Of course, I'm going to go put my soul into a doll. Like, what prison inmate does not know voodoo rituals? But saying that out loud, it's like a little bit weird. So I'm not completely opposed for them taking away. Chucky is still going to be possessed in some way, but they are removing that part. That is one thing that they did say. Cast-wise, you have Aubrey Plaza, who will be playing Karen, by Brian Tyree Henry as Mike, and Gabriel Bateman as Andy. So yeah, it pretty much is. They are taking in a different direction. Halloween Rank is going to be better, but I like Chucky. Never really scared me, but it was a cool concept. It was a cool concept, and I liked it. I really, really did. I just used to have the creepiest dolls as a kid. And during that time frame, they had actually a couple horror movies that had to do with possessed dolls, and one of them is literally called Dolls. If you haven't watched it, you probably should. It's about this old couple who has these porcelain dolls that come to life and just literally murder people. It was awesome. Oh, I think, yeah, just go watch a movie. I won't even bother to say what it is. But there's no definitely Dunkbot. There's no release about when it's going to be happening. I know there's a couple things that the creator Don Mancini, who's not on board. He's got his own stuff going on, so he's the original creator of the Child's Play thing. He won't be a part of it. That's another thing that's kind of questionable. Not to say that a movie cannot be made without the original creator, but generally they do have the mindset of what they had their ideas to be. Favorite dogs are the ones that murder. Well, I didn't watch Annabelle. Annabelle was kind of, I didn't really like it. It wasn't really my kind of, I don't know. It felt cheesy to me. I was always nice to my dolls to make sure that, you know, they came to life when I'm sleeping, that I've been nice to them, and I gave them their fake tea and food, and I have them up and praised and displayed. So they won't kill me. They can kill anybody else that came into my house and mistreated them or farted on them by accident. I don't know. But that is the last thing that I have for our pop culture news. But it's definitely not the last thing that we have for today's episode, for sure. Smart move. Very smart move. I'm going to make sure that I'm safe here. Going to always make sure that I'm safe. Alright, so our gaming news is what comes up next. My favorite part. But this one won't be nearly as long. You know, every time we talk about gaming, especially when there's events around, it ends up being like a 2.5, 3, 4, 5 hour show here. I narrowed it down because it's just going to be me. So I'm going to be talking about a little bit about Tokyo Game Show and Nintendo Direct and some things that were key interests. And one of the things that I think is a key interest for a lot of people that was secretly, well, not secretly announced, it was surprised announced, is that Animal Crossing for Switch is going to be a thing. I liked how they did this. So Isabelle was also announced for Smash Brothers, and people were super excited about that, in which they introduced Tom Nook. You know, talking about how, you know, he's super proud of him, and all these other things. Let you guys watch that little view. Sorry, I don't have any audio. But it's not like he actually really talks. So when you have the chat thing comes up, he's like, a bunch of beeping. But he's so cute. And the thing is, if you played enough Animal Crossing, you can actually just hear the little beeping that happens without even having audio. I can do it. That's just a little bit too much Animal Crossing, man. But I'm excited. I am working on getting a, is it weird that I wanted to shake it senseless? What? No. What, Shazzy? I will be getting a Switch. I'm actually pre-ordering the Hey You, Eevee, and Pikachu edition of the Nintendo Switch that comes out in November. Animal Crossing, number one. No, actually, no. It'll be the number three game. I forgot the second game that I wanted. Oh no, the Hey You Eevee. That was the second game I wanted for the Switch, and then the first one being The World Ends with You, which actually comes out next month. But yeah, so this came out, no exact date on it except 2019. What is Animal Crossing and what do you do in it? You just manage a town, and you make friends, and you shop and you earn bells for your house, in which you have your house rated. But you also can go fishing, can hang out with friends. I know it sounds really, really simple, but it's a very cute game and very, very addicting for how incredibly simplistic it is. It is super cute. It is. Which one was it Wild City? Oh my goodness, I forgot the name of it because I didn't own it, but I used to play it at my friend's house. So one where you could set up times to go shopping with your friends. It was so much cheaper than actually doing real shopping, okay? I can guarantee you that. I don't mind grinding for bells to buy stuff. However, grinding for real dollars to spend it, that's a whole different story. Different. I should have thought about having this inside the gaming section, but I'll have it here anyways. Probably could have found a different place for it. So Steam or Valve, really, they usually moderate their stuff, their forums, but it's very, very lax. Well, in their latest update, starting, I believe, this coming Tuesday, which is, let me go and check the data for that, on the 25th of September here, Valve is going to be more active in monitoring and policing game forums there. Obviously, this is more for a developer update to let studios know that that's what they're going to be doing. But studios and games can opt out of that option, so they will not be policed. So what happens is that when a user is flagged, they're put into a queue for review and see what happens and how they're going to be dealing about what what the offense is and how to check it up. So they're going to be a whole lot more active in doing that. I wonder if they're upping their moderation team, and I'm also wondering if they have a work from home like opening. Like that sounds like something that you can do as a remote job. And if so, I'm going to go find that opening because anything that lets me stay home on my computer is so worth doing. Not to say that there is out there, but come on. Who's gonna go to an office so that they can go through the queues of people who is like complaining or being offensive, whatever stuff on there? I have no clue if they're gonna make those positions available. See, everybody is wondering those things, which is a funny thing. So one of my first things as a kid growing up, completely off segueing that one, the Super Nintendo cartridges. Did you know that the number on there that you could call was that if you ever got stuck in a game, so this is well before GameFAQs and the internet and whatever it is, if you're ever stuck in a game or you didn't know how to solve anything, you could actually call that number, and it actually gave a direct line to developers because the QA team wasn't like a full-fledged thing. So you had a couple interns that did QA, but it actually went to that same department with the developers and the QA team that could help you when you were getting stuck, not necessarily finding glitches, but you're just stuck like, hey, I can't find this heart in Zelda. Where do I find it? How do I get to that? And my mom called it once. My mom called it once because for that same exact reason, there was a heart and a link to, and she couldn't get Link over to the little island that was floating that had the heart piece, and she had to go and figure it out. When I found that out, I was like, this is a job that I want. I want to be the person you call for these things. This is how I feel about this. I want to be the person that moderates your dirty jokes in forums and calling people whatever it is. Anything gaming related I can do at home, just period. Granted, they don't have that option anymore. It isn't. I'm just saying, I mean, it'd be cool. I have those little dreams. But one of my favorite I know this is terrible at segue there. So one of my favorite studios developers, Square Enix, also known as SquareSoft, has actually something that's super surprising that they're coming out with and that they're doing. Some of the Final Fantasy series will be available on the Switch and Xbox coming next year. Why is this a surprise? Well, Final Fantasy has primarily been on at least the older series has primarily been on Sony on PlayStation. So it's actually pretty cool. It's not going to be the entire Final Fantasy storyline, but it's going to, or not storyline, but series. But you're going to have, let's see, Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10, 10 2, and as well as 12. So it's not so much a surprise that it's going to be released on the Nintendo Switch, as if you know earlier in the Final Fantasy series, it actually came out on the Super Nintendo. So that's not a huge surprise. For it to be available on Xbox, I think it's actually pretty awesome. Especially for the older games, just having more Japanese-based games on the Xbox platform, period, is kind of a big news to me. So I'm actually really looking forward to it. And like Square Enix is just coming out with a bunch of games. I think they're one of the very few studios in which they can just like pop out games like this, and most of them maybe they not be as like grade A content, like grade A plus content as, you know what, their Final Fantasy 15 or Final Fantasy 14. But even like the world of Final Fantasy, that's still a great game, and they just pop out all this content. It blows my mind. Other studios they probably have really overworked. But I'm excited. I wouldn't go and get them, but there we go. GTA 6 2038. I caught a few times. Most of the time they just pulled out the guide, but one time the person had to play the game to find the answer. See, that is some dedication. That is some true dedication. I think that's awesome, and it's a lot of fun. I'm sure they have their own little personal team and book and all that other stuff in there, but I don't remember like having games like Super Bomberman that had a manual in it. I did have a Game Genie. I did have that for the cheats. Yeah, I cheated. Fight me. I'm gonna set up for this one. So this is something else that I debated about which category to put this under. Right, I best do a sleep. Sorry, I can't say. It's okay, Dunkbot. I appreciate you being here. Anyways, so this is super cool, and I don't care what anybody has to say, even though a lot of people are probably tired of hearing Ninja's name and hearing about Fortnite and that entire genre. But you still have to say this is actually something that's really cool. Ninja is of the actually titles that I didn't have listed up there. He's actually the first professional gamer that's on the cover of the ESPN magazine. So I think that's a huge thing. That's a huge step forward in taking esports as a very serious sport, period. It's still quite a ways away before the general population accept it as a professional sport. But what you don't know is that maybe it might not be as physical as typical sports are too, but it is very much a mental game, and that can be exhausting. And there's also a lot of practicing. There's a lot of muscle memory to learn. There's a whole other set of skills that it takes, and it does take training. It takes a lot of training. It takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of dedication, which I feel that is generally the epitome of what an athlete is. It just might not be as physically demanding. I still think this is an awesome thing, and just the fact that he's going to be in the ESPN magazine. There's still a lot of gamers who just do only sports to know who this man is. I just wish that his whole thing wasn't having the messy hair, because I want to take a brush to that boy's hair so bad. I say boy, he's probably only a few years younger than me, but I swear he has a baby face, and I just want to brush your hair. Just come on. Killing me here, Smalls. Killing me. Ooh. Sorry. It takes me a little bit to set up for the next thing. This next thing is actually kind of a little bit of a sad news. Nobody wants sad news, but it happens. This is really, really, really sad news. Telltale Games has officially laid off majority, if not almost all, of their employees. They had a huge mass layoffs, but it shouldn't actually be a surprise. So I believe last November they let go 90 employees. I think it was something around there. They let go quite a bit last year, and you know what? They laid off several hundred more, leaving a very small team of around 24 or 25 employees. So a lot of the projects that you're looking forward to, don't expect them. I believe as soon as they meet the obligations of some of the contracts that they have going on, one particular one is a partnership that they have with Netflix for the Minecraft story series. I don't know how that takes precedence because I really don't want a Minecraft Netflix series whatsoever. But because of that, they are dropping a lot of series. So you do not expect to see Wolf Among Us season 2. Not to see any more Batman, no more Game of Thrones. It is very much questionable in the rumor mill that they won't even be having the final of The Walking Dead, which is super, super sad. I was really looking forward to that. Definitely not going to be having anything to do with Stranger Things. So I think just majority of what they're just finishing off with those 25 employees is something for Netflix. That's what I believe it to be. But it has to do, like rumor mill says, that it has a lot to do with, poor management, and, overworked employees. And a lot of these employees that will go were not given a severance package. So, they might have created a lot of great games, but it really doesn't matter if you're going to treat your employees that terrible. It's kind of amazing that that happened because I felt that they did really, really great with the games that they created. So, to me, I would have thought that, they had the funding. Apparently, they really don't. That says so much support within the devs. I see many of them sharing open positions within their company. Yeah, there's a lot of great things. You know what? It's really great to see that. Okay, no, it's not great to see studios shut down because earlier this month, Carbine Studios, which I do have a friend that worked at Carbine Studio, was also let go. Carbine Studio worked on WildStars, I believe it is. But when studios shut down like that, it's amazing to see not only the gaming community but the developer community and studios post and share like, hey, you know what, we have these openings, apply for them. It's a lot of amazing support within community in general that are helping these people out, because no matter what, nobody wants to see somebody without a job, period, especially now. What about Life is Strange? Life is Strange is not from Telltale's Don't Nod through Square Enix works on Life is Strange. That is a completely different studio. Not the same. Same type and same genre, but not the same studio. So, yeah. It's called by Square Enix. Sorry. I have to try to stop saying sorry. But something that is happy, not happy for me because it's not my particular genre. Red Dead, actually, Rockstar announced that Red Dead will have an online beta that will be coming out in November. So Red Dead Redemption 2 does come out next month. However, later on, they will be releasing an update in the online beta that they're going to be testing out a multiplayer experience in their cowboy universe. Not so much a cowboy person unless it's going to be something that's Westworld related. But I think that's actually cool that they're going to be putting this out. Which, coming from Rockstar, I kind of like wondering, is this something that's like Grand Theft Auto meets Cowboys? Or are you and your buddy going to be creating a posse to rob trains? I don't know. VR probably. Don't say that, Gutter. Cowboy, you know what? I'm not even gonna be surprised. Let's just. Actually, honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised. I think just kind of makes sense. So Red Dead Online is planned for launch in November of 2018, initially as a public beta, with more news to come out soon. As with most online experiences of this size and scale, there will inevitably be some turbulence at launch, very much obviously, but Red Dead Redemption will be free for anyone to try out. The Red Dead Online beta is free for anybody to try out that, as long as you own Red Dead Redemption 2 on either the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, and you can pick up RDR 2 on October 26, 2018. Next month, right around the corner. Unless, you can pick it up, but if you're going to be at TwitchCon, then you probably won't be able to play it all, period. Until you come back, unless you're one of those people who just travels with your stuffs. Now, coming out from also, I'm touching on some things that came out during Tokyo Game Show here. One of them being is more trailers, more information about Devil May Cry 5. So I have a couple of trailers here for you. Right now, what's playing is the Mega Buster for the trailers. How did you feel about Spider-Man? I have not played Spider-Man, but I know it's doing really, really well. And I don't have the exact numbers for it off the top of my head, but I haven't even played it yet. So in this new trailer from Tokyo Game Show, they show everybody's favorite Dante in action. He'll be joining Nero, and they also introduce a third playable character who is known as V. I don't know as much as I would like to know about the Devil May Cry series, but they do have a deluxe edition that's going to have the Mega Blaster. Have had a bigger picture of this. The Mega Blaster, the I can't say this word for whatever. Okay. Again, try this again. Mega Man's Mega Buster. And it's going to be one of 4 of the Devil Breaker weapons for Nero. The other ones we'll call Sweet Surrender, which they label as a vibrator designed to relieve tension. The pasta breaker, and an arm that makes pasta easy to eat. It is not particularly useful in battle. That's very interesting. I kind of want to just use that, but there it is. They'll also have, let's see, the Mega Buster thing that you can see has very much, Capcom is very much pushing that whole crossover into their other games, especially with the Mega Man. I believe 11 coming out, the 30th anniversary, so many things, and it doesn't make sense, just the look of it going into it, but for it being his weapon, because he has he lost his arm, it's kind of cool. You're buying it. the attachment or the game. But it looks really cool. The music and the soundtrack for this sounds awesome. It's probably high time I actually go and give the entire Devil May Cry series, a chance. Or for me right now, since I have so much limited time, I might just watch the Too Long Don't Read YouTube video that combines all of the scenes, tells me the story, and then probably jump into Devil May Cry 5. I don't know if it'll be a day one purchase for me, but it is definitely something I would definitely jump onto. And their hair goals, that white silver, I would love for my hair to be that color. But also from Capcom, which is a game that I think is going to make Game of the Year for 2019, hands down. I'm just gonna call it. I'm just gonna be that person and call it. But there's also more information in the trailer for Resident Evil 2 remake. Not a reboot, but a remake. That was the wrong word. And they also introduced in this one Ada Wong. I don't know how I feel about this new look that they gave Ada Wong. If you haven't played the series, when you're introduced to her, she wears this really tight, kind of skimpy red dress. She looked like she was gonna go out to a night on the town, and Raccoon City just, breaks into the zombie outbreak here, and suddenly her garter belt turns into a gun holster, and the girl's just running around in heels. First of all, I wouldn't continue wearing my heels. I would find boots. I don't care. I will pull it off the next dead body that I saw. I'm running around in boots. The apocalypse. I will handle the dress. But in this one, they have her, well, more clothed, which isn't a problem with me. But it just like, it completely is off from this red dress I'm used to having. Like, maybe, you know what? Maybe her priority was finding a coat to cover herself because she knew it was ridiculous to be running around killing zombies in a red dress, and it got cold, and she probably pulled a trench coat off of somebody. It could be thing. I can make a whole bunch of stories about what happens, but but regardless, it looks really cool. This big baddie monster has, oh my goodness, that whole scene looked really awesome. I'm looking forward to it. We already have it pre-ordered for our household. We got the biggest edition that we possibly can. We're going to be streaming it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it comes out January 25th 2019. Perfect timing there, video. This next video that I'm going to be showing, I'm not going to put it up now. I'm going to give a particular warning to it. It might be a game that brings up a lot of different feelings to it. It's not purposely or intent to do that, not like Doki Doki Literature Club, which had a warning to it. But this one I'm going to be talking about might be a little bit triggering, but the reason why I'm bringing it up is I think it has a very interesting story to it, and it's not exactly what you think it is. If you ever played games like Inside on Steam, it has a very weird feel like that. But game that I'm going to be talking about is actually has possibly one of the longest titles that I've ever had to read. It's called The Missing J. Oh my goodness, I gotta go and find it. It is known as The Missing J.J. Macfield and the Island of Memories. So you're looking at this trailer, you're wondering, well, what can possibly be so bad about it? Well, The Missing is a platformer that's all about mutilating yourself to survive. That is why I had to give that little warning over there too. So let's see. This game is great. I played it all at ID at Xbox. It looks awesome. I had to put it on there. It's an indie title. I thought it looked great, Hikari. I'm glad that you are just mirroring that. Let me go and find the entire story about them. Sounds very sadistic, I know. But in The Missing, your job is to find your best friend Emily, who disappears while a pair are camping on a camping trip in Memoria. It's simple setup. What appears to be a very strange game that feels steeped in Swery's peculiar sense of style. So you're basically playing a character who is immortal, but to solve puzzles and to figure out why this is happening to her, you kind of have to die a lot. There is a lot because you are immortal. You do regenerate body parts and limbs. You don't officially die, but I can understand and see that 100% as it being very, very triggering to some people. But for the fact that you have to mutilate yourself to continue on in this game, to progress in it, to do a lot of stuff, but it doesn't track that it's like a game. And on this trailer right here, you can see that her head is actually rolling around. It could be available on PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. I believe the release date is actually next month, so you can expect for me to be streaming it on my personal channel. I'd be very respectful and not be touching that and bringing it out here to GirlStreamers, but it'll be out on October 11th, and I'm glad, Hikari, that you got to try it out and you just say this game is great. I'm going to be looking forward to it 100%. But some mutilation and death and all that other stuff isn't your thing. But if you happen to own the PSVR, this game will be coming out in November, I believe. It's called The Tetris Effect. I'm not sure. I've never thought about playing Tetris in VR whatsoever, but this game looks very beautiful, very cool, very, very colorful. So if you suffer from epileptic seizures or bright lights and flashing, definitely probably isn't the game for you. But I'm gonna let this sit here and play, and I'm gonna delay just a little bit so you guys can see all these pretty colors. So the Tetris Effect, launches this November, actually November 9th to be specific. It was originally announced and showcased at E3 in 2008, and they had a lot of playable demos available at Tokyo Game Show, and it had a lot from the people in the tweets and everything that I've been reading. It was very positively received. Anything that is just this visually appealing to me is just a must. Beautiful that is. It kind of almost reminds me of Geometry War in the same, like Geometry Wars meets what was that Windows screensaver that came up with all the pretty colors? Not, well, it's kind of like the fractal one, but there's another one that was there that it kind of reminds me of. So let's see here. On November 9th, enter the world of Tetris Effect and experience a classic like never before. The use of music and visual cues as you prepare to create lines and score points is nothing short of magical, and there will be plenty of gamers who fall in love with this trippy rendition of the classic. It's funny because you see all these pretty things. I still don't know where the whole like Tetris part comes into play, but even if this was just the entire game, I'm in there. I think I'll just lose every time because it's also just super distracting. But also distracting. If you're a weeb like myself, which I'm a very, very, very proud weeb. Catherine Full Body. If you haven't played the original one, I believe it came out on Xbox 360. Please don't quote me about the time frames. I'm really bad with dates. But it will be launching on PlayStation 4 and the PS Vita on February 14, 2019 in Japan. PS4 is in the Vita is open region, so even though it's only going to be released overseas, if you're in the States, you still can't play the game. Problem is, I don't know if it will have subtitles for you to be able to know what's going on. So they also announced this on their live stream, but I'm going to say a Western release of the Catherine Full Body is planned, but it just hasn't been given a date yet. So if you can wait, if not, go ahead and get the Valentine's Day release there, which is a funny time to, but actually not a funny time. It's a perfect time for it to release on February 14th for this game. I don't want to give away too much about what it's about, but it's a lot. So some little bit of tidbit information about the update of what you can expect from the Catherine Full Body re-release here. Let's see. So there'll be the range mode will be featuring new mechanics. There'll be more than 500 stages, which is 2 times the amount of the original game, with over 20 animated scenes that will be added. You'll also get Catherine's voice in addition to Miyuki Sawashiro, which is Catherine's main voice actor, and Mamiko Noto, who voiced Fuku Yamagishi in Persona 3, along with 9 additional voiceovers, will be released as DLC. Is it? No, it's not. But it's something that I'm going to be looking forward to, and I played a lot. It's probably very Yandir, okay? We're just gonna go and say that. But I'm going to be playing with it. And the last little tidbit that I have, which is I had to save the best for last, because this to me is, well, other than Resident Evil 2, as far as handheld games that came across, please expect that Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, the trilogy, will be coming to consoles and Steam. Originally, it was a release on the 3DS. It is very much a detective lawyer game. If you haven't played the series, I cannot recommend it to you enough. I loved it. Yes, it is text heavy, but it's very interesting and it's very fun to play with a very great story. The compilation includes the original game, Justice for All, and Trials and Tribulations, and you can expect to see this in early 2019. And I think this is also piggybacking off of the latest series. Let's see. Oh, the anime, the second season of the Ace Attorney anime, which I have not watched yet. So I will very happily play through these games again so that I can stream it, because I don't have a modded 3DS to be able to play it on stream. But the fact that it's going to come to console and Steam, I will replay this no problem whatsoever. It's been long enough that I don't remember every little tidbit, so it's kind of going to be like a semi new experience to me. Same, somewhat, but I'm excited and happy for it. And that will conclude our gaming news. Now we move on to our tech news. So it's very interesting that some of these things are going to be releasing, or I listed a couple games that are going to be releasing on the Vita, ending this year, going into the next year, because this little bit of news kind of contradicts the reason why. Like, why would you do that? Japan will be ending the Vita production in 2019, and there will be no successor to the Vita whatsoever. Vita's a love-hate sort of thing. Not a lot of people took to it. I am personally a huge fan of my Vita. I love my Vita more than my 3DS. So this makes me very, very sad. They're going to be very much officially ending production in 2019. I love it too heartily. I really do. I might actually just go ahead and purchase like a backup. Like, I probably won't open it, but in the event that, my current Vita happens to die or whatever it is, I have a backup. This also follows on the news that they announced earlier that the PlayStation Plus subscription will not be offering any more free games for the Vita. I believe in March of 2019. Even though they didn't give the absolute date for the end of production. I'm assuming it's going to be around that to align with that whole thing. I kind of hope that because they're not going to be offering any more free games for the Vita, that maybe they'll add one more free game to offer for the PS4, PS3. But that makes me so incredibly sad. I think it is. I love my Vita. And I guess Sony's trying to focus more on their main platform, which is their PS4 and whatever is going to be coming out for the next generation, rather than having another handheld. But I hope it's not like the end idea, just to not have an handheld at all. It's just my personal preference, and it just makes me super sad. But yeah, I'm gonna have a backup. Oh, okay. This one, I kind of didn't want to have this in the streaming news part of things, because it is not, how do I say, it doesn't apply to everyone. It just applies to people in China, which is officially blocked in China. It's also one of the third most used sites that was there. But you know what? This isn't a huge surprise, because early in the year, if you want to find out more information, definitely go and Google the Great Firewall, because China also had Apple remove several thousand, maybe just under a couple thousand apps from their store for being labeled as illegal. It's a very sad thing that they have this type of restrictions in China. But they had a huge push of popularity last month, but it's no longer available. Originally, some people thought that it was just, maybe it was them, it was their internet. But you know what? When people were accessing the website, that was their concern. And then when it was official that they just couldn't access the app at all, it made even better sense. So, this is a sad thing. How can you take it? But Twitch also joins along apps and sites like WhatsApp, Skype, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook's. They're of being censored or removed completely from China, period. So, sad times. Which kind of makes sense why I don't actually, since I stream late at night, those are like probably the one country that I don't really have any viewers from. Not that I expect it, but I'm just saying. Kind of debated about which order I wanted to go this one in, but we're just going to go with this one first. Sega Mega Drive Mini, because we're going with the minis here for everything. You have the NES Mini, the Super Nintendo Mini. Well, there's also a Sega Mega Drive Mini. It's actually going to be delayed until 2019. It was actually supposed to be released later this year, but it's being delayed to 2019 because they're going to be doing a huge overhaul A lot of things now, before anybody goes ahead and says like, oh, they're just copying, what Nintendo does. Really, no. Sega actually forgot the company that they actually partner up with several years ago. You can find them in your Radio Shack and Best Buy. They're like $30, and they come preloaded with a lot of stuff. It didn't have the best emulator on it or GUI, and it was kind of like this really cheap knockoff. It's not as well built and durable as say the NES, but it still did the same exact thing. It was still, played the games the same way. It was no difference, but they're going to be doing a huge overhaul in these things because this whole mini series that's coming on with platforms is becoming a bigger thing. They want to be a viable product for it. Growing up, the Sega period was my favorite platform. The Sega Master System, the CD, everything. I loved everything Sega. So this is number one thing. I'm like a hit and miss with the Nintendo. I didn't want the NES Mini, but I got the Super NES Mini because I had more games I liked on there. And this is just hands on going to be the very next thing. I don't mind waiting for it. Why don't I mind waiting for it? Because I also pre-ordered this one. I pre-ordered the PlayStation Classic Mini. And I loved it. I still love it. Like, look at that thing. It has been pre-ordered. I actually almost missed the pre-order for this one because good luck finding it now. I got really antsy on a lot of stuff because it didn't officially show up. For me personally, didn't show up in the Amazon store. And I thought, like, oh, it's not going to be at Amazon. I'll go and pre-order it on GameStop. I went to go pre-order it on GameStop. And then I saw that the listing for Amazon was on there. I'm like, oh, free shipping. I went to cancel my GameStop thing and go over to Amazon. And the amount of time that it took me to do that, the Amazon one sold out. And I already canceled my thing on GameStop. Tried to reorder the thing on GameStop, but it still had the record showing that I ordered it. And it said there's only a limit, one per household. And I almost missed out on it. And I damn near gave myself a heart attack and praised my boyfriend for saving my ass and being able to pre-order it. But needless to say, the PlayStation Classic is going to be a part of my household. I'm super excited. It releases December 3rd, and it's going to be available for $99 or $100 if you're able to pre-order it. I'm hoping that they're going to be making more. Now, here's a downfall. So the videos that they showed and the pictures that they showed, the controllers, the wires are not going to be that short, I assure you that. But you must also pay attention that the PlayStation Classic does not actually include a power cable with the box. That is actually something completely 100% separate. See here. PlayStation Classic will support smartphone AC USB adapters. So if you have the little mini USB, that is what is going to be used to power it. Why they are not including that with it, I have no idea whatsoever. It doesn't even really give any specifications about what the power block would be like, but it just says that it will support smartphone USB adapter. So I'm just going to go with that. I have several of it. I looked at it. I made sure that I got the right cables for it. I just think it's silly. Oh, it's right here. Here, I'm correcting myself here. Power for PlayStation Classic can be supplied using any USB source, meeting the 5-volt 1 ampere requirement, including those that come with smartphones. So those of us with a handful of iPhone wall chargers lying around may not be able to put one of them to good use. Look at that. I just don't understand why it didn't come with it. That's cool. I'm sure you feel super proud of yourself. So you can go and find that. And that brings up the last of tech news. Look at that, guys. We are almost done this episode. Wrong window. Give me 1 second here, loves. Oh, okay. Here we go. Closed the wrong window that had all of my notes on it. Stream tips. I've been trying to do my most in offering some tips or actually just like new extensions and things that are available as a tool. It's not necessarily like you need to have them to be a successful streamer, but you know what? It helps you expand and gives you creative ideas about how you can branch out and expand even more. So the first one being Streamlabs has added a new feature to their stuff. So earlier this year, they released the merch store. Well, now you will be able to create your own merch giveaway straight from the Streamlabs application, or if you use Slobs, you can also start it from there as well too. So you have a lot of different options of being able to have Streamlabs be your one-stop shop, so that you can have your own merch store. You don't have to go to Design by Humans or can't think of any other stores. There's quite a few stores, or Society 6 to host your products. You can have your brand and your label and your storefront all from within Streamlabs, and now you can have it and host your own giveaways through that as well too. So that's definitely something to go out and check. And on top of that, if you have been considering, here at GirlStreamers, we do not only have the Cosmic Bulletin, but Nymphadora also hosts and runs the podcast in which we interview many of our GirlStreamer members and get some more details into their lives and to what streaming means to them. On top of that, outside of GirlStreamers, I also co-host another podcast. Well, if you're ever looking into it, it just got a little bit easier for you to make it possible for you. So Skype is stepping up their game because, well, Skype used to be that number one tool that everybody used to have, interviews online if you can't see the person in person, except Skype can be a huge resource block, and for you to be able to capture the video itself, you need to do screen captures. Well, in this latest update from Skype, they're adding an NDI NTech option so that it's more of you bringing in a source like you would from any game or your webcam straight into XSplit. I do believe, even though this is an advertisement for XSplit having this, I do believe that OBS and Slobs has their own way of incorporating that to make it possible for you. So if you're ever considering thinking of starting up a podcast or just a feature on top of your own channel of having interviews with different streamers, this just made it a whole lot easier and simple for you to have it all in one spot. XSplit also has a way. XSplit and Skype also has a way of you being able to import different overlays for this extension that they're coming out with. And if something that you want to use, well, there you go. Life can be a whole lot easier. Now for my favorite part, which is kind of sad because that means that we're almost done. And I don't know how I feel about that. So in this section, we talk all about Girl Streamer news. Everything that happens here, it's not just about what the news is about happening outside of the world. We do have a lot of stuff that happens here in GirlStreamers. And as I mentioned before in our previous show, we do have a massive Gleam giveaway that's coming up. So follow us on Twitter, GirlStreamers. We're going to be posting up all the updates and information there, especially when it goes live, because the Gleam giveaway will be hosted on Twitter. And we have so much cool stuff. We're working with these amazing companies that are very gracious to partner up with us for this. I don't have exact details for you yet, other than just pay attention. If you're part of our Discord, we always keep you guys up to date in there as well, as much as we possibly can too. And also on top of that, we still are working out our kinks and our rules and everything about applying for the Twitch team page teaser, because if you haven't noticed, Twitch will be coming out with their tags soon. They're going to be getting rid of communities, and they're going to be using tags. They're going to expanding on their whole categories. So we are moving with the times and planning those stuff out. That will be something that's only applied to the members within our Discord. So if you're a woman, you're a female streamer, identify as a female streamer, definitely go and check out our website, www.girlstreamers.com, to find out more information about how you can join us in the Discord there. And if you're going to be doing that, make sure that you tie your Twitch account or your Mixer account Facebook account, all to Twitch or to Discord, so we can go and find out. And then my favorite part of the entire show is I get to give shout outs because we have some really amazing hardworking women in our community that has recently reached some really great milestones for them in their careers and the work that they put forward, and we always want to give them a shout out for it. So congratulations to one of our first members, September with no vowels in it, for making affiliate. So you can find them at twitch.tv/SPTMBR. Congratulations, they made an affiliate on September 16th. Definitely go out and check out their channel if you get a chance. Hey, heartily. Next up, we have Sprout. Sprout, she is known as Sprout within a community, but she goes by twitch.tv/SproutXcutie. Definitely worth a chat. Go and look. I'm including, clips and highlights. This whole feature and part of our show, we adapt, and I think it's really cool to be able to showcase what they can offer and what their channel is like and games they have. So I offer up a little clip of what you can expect. And that's twitch.tv/SproutXcutie. You can also find, I'm really bad at this whole name thing. I believe it's Janice within our Discord, but you can find her on Twitch at twitch.tv/Excaliburmite. Again, that's XCaliburMyte, Excaliburmite. I think is a very cool way to write that out. That part is actually easy for me to read. You also have Pandora Luna, who made affiliate on actually just a couple days ago, September 19th. You can follow them on twitch.tv/Pandora Luna. And our last one to showcase and say congratulations to is Scarberry, which you can find them on twitch.tv/Scarberry. That's SCARBERRY. And like I mentioned earlier before, we don't just do the Cosmic Bulletin and just streams here. Nymphadora also hosts our weekly or bi-weekly podcast. And we can also soon see the lovely Miss Heartily. So you can tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow, Sunday, September 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch here to watch a lovely interview with Heartily and Nymphadora. What do you mean, what? Don't tell me you forgot about that. Oh, you're saying what? What? Like, oh yeah, I forgot I have this interview. Yes. We're very excited. So you can tune in tomorrow here at twitch.tv/GirlStreamers_INC to see and learn more about Heartily. I always hope that I'm saying your name right there, Heart. Heartily. Or is it Heart Lily? Heartily? Yes. Okay. Got one name right. So because it is also still September, we still have our streamer of the month as Angel TG. We showed a video that Nymphadora edited, but I also wanted to include a clip from one of her most recent streams. She is definitely our streamer of the month for the month of September. You can go and find Angel at twitch.tv/AngelTJEE. Like currently this clip, I had to go and choose this one because she was so happy. One of her hospitals, she's playing 2 Point Hospital, made it to the 75% approval rating, so she got her 3-star with it. And I thought she has the most adorable reactions to things. I just love it. Oh, is that it? That's actually sadly it. I would normally have some news about. For me, I would normally actually have some news about our community nights, but we have been so busy with TwitchCon being right around the corner, and we have a lot of stuff going on over there and setting up. We have some cool stuff that's going to be happening. Um, a little bit of a teaser. We do have some limited edition pins going on, and hopefully we'll see the whole logistics and things. That there's going to be a lot of things that's going to be tied to that. Man, I can't believe that in just like 2 days over a month, I'm going to be actually leaving to go to San Jose for TwitchCon 2018. I get to see Cariz again. I get to meet Nymphadora and King Nightmare for the very first time. Sadly, our lovely leader, Den Mannequin, will not be able to make it. That makes me super sad, but she'll be there in spirit with us, and hopefully for 2019, she will be there right along with us. The pins are. I am very, very super sad. All right, it's tomorrow. I'm always so confused. They're ready for p.m. Sunday here. Oh, I'm sorry there. Yeah, time zones are so weird. So weird. It's okay, Dad. We still love you. You'll still be with us in spirit. But we have a lot going on. So that's, we might have fallen on the whole community game night for the month of September. Definitely try to organize and plan one out between sometime now and before we all leave and head to TwitchCon. But thank you guys for the support that you have provided us here at GirlStreamers in this endeavor. You made it possible for us to actually host some giveaways and do some really amazing stuff. Such as creating these really awesome limited edition TwitchCon pins that we're going to be having, and we're going to be showing. Like, I can't wait to show you guys pictures of it and see what it comes out to. You guys have just been so incredibly awesome. With that, I'm also going to take the time to go and check out all of our sponsors located down below. If you want to go and support us, the best way, if you can't sub to us or donate to us, is if you're going to be looking to purchase something from even just the humble bundle things. Those little things help us. It gets all cycled back into GirlStreamers, the community itself, to offer better giveaways such as our Gleam ones, because that is like the shipping comes out of our pockets. It doesn't, like, none of your donations lines any of our pockets. It just helps greases the wheel to offer more stuff for you guys. So thank you. Thank you guys all so very, very much. Also, if you're interested in finding and joining out, whoops. If you're interested in joining our community, go ahead and visit our website, www.girlstreamers.com, for more information. You can also follow us on Twitter at GirlStreamers. And you can watch and follow our stream here live at Twitch TV at twitch.tv/girlstreamers_INC. And obviously, you can also find all of our podcasts, all of our Cosmic Bulletins on YouTube. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on that little bell for notifications for all of the new stuff on YouTube GirlStreamers. That's where you can find it. So thank you guys for joining me for episode 13 of the Cosmic Bulletin. I hope I did an okay job being a solo host for you guys. The next episode of the Cosmic Bulletin will be on October 6th. It'll be Halloween. That is super exciting to me. Maybe I'll just like put on some like cosplay makeup for just the month of October, because I think that would be a whole lot of fun. It'd be. But that will be it, and hopefully, you know what? I take that back. I might be hosting it by myself too, unless somebody wants to be my guest, because like I said, Nymphadora is on a next great adventure for herself. She's going to be moving across the country, so it might just be a solo show again. But until then, you guys have a great one, and I will see you guys all later. Bye, guys.